If you're looking for a way to power up your nutrients with a plant-based protein powder, then raw vegan plant-based protein is the perfect choice. This vegan protein is packed with essential nutrients to help you stay energized and healthy. With plant-based protein powder becoming increasingly popular amongst health-conscious individuals, it's no surprise that raw vegan plant-based proteins has become a leader in the industry. Whether you're an athlete or just looking to increase your daily protein intake, this vegan protein powder can help you reach your goals. Visit rawvegan.com. Again, rawvegan.com. Welcome to the Second Wind Sports Media. I'm your host, Rashid Hammond. Today, I have a very special guest in the building, ladies and gentlemen. We have no other than the only female, undisputed world champion to ever come out of the DMV. Ladies and gentlemen, we have no other than Franchon Crews-Dezurn. How's it going, champ?
Yeah, the crowd goes wild, but
yes, indeed. That's a hell of an accomplishment to be undisputed world champion.
yeah.
I saw you about 2 weeks ago. You probably don't remember seeing me. We both were standing outside trying to get into the sports arena. They didn't have our press passes at the time, or our passes.
I was like, excuse me. But we got in. It was all good. Got to see the guys do their thing, so I can't complain.
Yes, indeed. So I'm going to start it off with this question. How did you get started into boxing?
I started boxing just to lose weight for singing. I was on American Idol, and I've always had a passion for singing and performing arts. So my mentor told me that I need to lose weight because I'm a transplant from VA to B-more.
Okay.
And when I met him, he was like, you need to lose weight because you got to fit the standard. Back then, you had to be like on point. And, the universe just guided me, and I ended up in the boxing gym.
Wow. I remember seeing you on American Idol. That actually installed a world champion, which we didn't know at the time. But explain that experience of the American Idol and what motivated you to continue your boxing career after that.
Yeah, well, it is. I made a declaration. I'm really a person of my word. I try to keep my word. And that was like one of my first big heartbreaks because like when you talented or when you have a passion or a vision for yourself, you don't see what other people see. And when they kind of like let me down easy and rejected me, I was just like, you know what? If I'm not the American Idol, I'm going to be the middleweight champion of the world. And at the time, I literally started boxing. I only had like 2 fights. And in that clip, you could see my mom was there comforting me, the pretty dark-skinned lady who comforted me. That's my mother. By the time it aired on TV, she was in the hospital bed fighting for her life. And
oh no.
And then a couple weeks later, I was going for my first like national USA boxing tournament. So that whole experience, watching it from the hospital bed with her on TV, from declaring it and then going and winning my first nationals in a dominating fashion, just put me on that track to be where I am today.
Yeah, that's an amazing story. So which gym did you start? Would you say you come from Virginia, Norfolk to be exact?
Yeah, VA, Virginia Beach area. I started boxing in Baltimore. I used to street fight in VA, but I got my stripes down there. They made me B-more raised me, and DC raised me too. So
yes, indeed. I lay down there. I moved when I stopped boxing. I moved to Newport News, Virginia in '96. So I was in Bad News. Yes, indeed. Yeah. So I know the area. And when I was young, we used to fight down there all the time. So I was familiar with the area, Portsmouth, Hampton, Norfolk, Virginia Beach. Yes, indeed. Good area, though. Good area. The 757. Yes, indeed. So when you got to B-more, you started boxing. Who was your trainer?
I don't affiliate with them professionally, but I started in Baltimore. I started in Umar Boxing Gym.
Okay, Umar. I know Umar. Yes, indeed. Wow,
Yeah,
wow. So then you went to Headbangers, correct?
yeah. I train like so for us connecting, I was kind of a little taken aback because I have a lot of history in DC. I have a lot of history in Baltimore. I trained with the
Okay.
Russells before. I
Okay.
and I trained at Headbangers. A lot of prominent gyms with great trainers, and won a lot of tournaments and a lot of championships. So it was
Yes,
like,
indeed. That's amazing. I know them all. All those gyms. I was when they were kids, they were babies when
you
I
ain't
was
see me.
I'm a little older than y'all, man. I'm
Good,
45. Yeah, yeah,
good.
yeah. So I stopped fighting in 96.
That's
Came
like when
back.
Bug and them was fighting, huh?
Yeah, me and Boog was the oldest. I was up Hillcrest, and I went to Headbangers in 2000 when we was in the little closet in
Yeah, yeah,
Lincoln.
yeah. Yeah, my
Yeah,
husband,
yeah.
he made it there. I was just, I was raised like on the USA boxing scene, the national scene.
Okay,
I won like nationals with 5 fights. So once I won that,
okay.
I was constantly traveling and going to
Yes, indeed.
Colorado.
So you
So
was with Latasha Washington and all of them.
they were
That
a
they
little
were
bit before me,
older
but I
than
met
yeah.
her. I met her
Okay,
like I fought at the Chicago Female Golden Gloves years
okay.
ago,
Yes,
and she
indeed.
was there. And Latasha Washington, I
Yes,
didn't fight with
indeed.
her. I know Latasha Robinson because she looked like Serena, but of course I know Latasha Robinson. She's like big
Yeah,
sister, big
yes,
sister.
indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And the boxing history from females was much different then than it is now. You guys have really evolved and taken it to another level. Like I tend to like watching female boxing because y'all not afraid to fight each other.
Oh yeah,
You
you
yeah,
show
y'all
hands and
tend
everything.
yes indeed. Y'all tend to bring the smoke to each other, like literally. Like I don't see too much. It's political, but it ain't as political as the pro game. It's like you guys make it happen, and I don't know how you do it. Like you did, you just fought. You had your world title, your undisputed championship. You took it overseas.
Yeah,
You didn't run from the person. So, why is it like that for females to have that edge like that? What is it that females bring to the table to give them that edge to compete like they do?
yeah. Well, I consider myself like a new age pioneer. You talk about DMV history. You got Israel. You have like they had Acevado, Amanda Acevado, Leah Butler, who's like a big sister to me. And
Indeed.
when I came, it was no Olympics for women. It was no really opportunities in the amateurs. So I helped develop that. And the reason we fight so hard is because we don't get opportunities. We don't get paid like the men. We know it's no tomorrow. Like if you come up short, I mean, these days, if you're a certain fighter, you get certain grace and hey, I still got a promoter that's going to back me, but you still got to scramble for those opportunities. And every time you get the chance to fight and you want to put on a show because the person you fight and trying to take your spot, it's not enough to go around. So
Yeah,
you got to fight for what we
real
got.
talk. Right, right. And I look at your career and your early careers was championship bound back then. That's the thing about it. You guys fighting championship level fights with no more than 5, 10 fights coming out the gate, fighting the best of the best, which makes, in my opinion, what makes it much more competitive and makes me like it as a fighter, former fighter, amateur fighter who knows boxing. I know the level. It reminds me of the amateurs because in the amateurs we couldn't duck each other like the pros.
You
You
sign
can
up,
pick.
whoever's across so in that bracket, that's who you got to fight.
That's
And
who you had to fight.
that's I told you 5 fights in. I was raised on that system. Like I'm gonna tell you, the first time I got a rude awakening was when I went to Russia. My first
Okay.
world championships. I only had 9 fights, and I
Wow.
this Russian person. Looking back, it might have been a dude because,
Right.
um, you know, drug testing and rules weren't that implemented that much. And in Russia, you get away with a lot of things.
That's real
And
talk.
I'm like, yo, I know I could fight. I'm tough. But she's
Right.
like really throwing me down. So she turned me out, no homo.
Right.
And after that, I went undefeated for years, So you don't have a choice but to sink or swim. And I'm lucky I was able to swim and for all these years.
Yes, indeed. You doing your thing. I watched your fight, your last fight. I didn't realize that you sung the national anthem as before your fight. How was that?
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, you live only once, and I could sit up here and tell you my whole life story, but it was an opportunity. Like I said, I it was like my introduction to the world. I've been to UK, I fought in UK, I got a little
Hmm.
prominence in America, but the UK hit different. And I am who I am. If everybody's the same, how can we appreciate somebody's different? And that's what I
Right. Yes,
do.
indeed.
I make my outfits. I'm a singer-songwriter. I actually have a song that's charted over in the UK. So,
Awesome.
that's my calling card. If I'm not the American Idol, I'm gonna be the middleweight world champion. I
That's
became
right.
super middleweight undisputed, and
Yes,
I still
indeed.
sing. So it's like, and
That's
I was in
amazing.
Simon Cowell's hood, so I had to let him know.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I've been over there. They treat us much different over there.
Yeah,
Like you're a mega star over there when it's like 10 times more when you over there. It's
yeah,
another level. So I know I was out at the time I had a record company and I would get in all the VIP places I couldn't get into here, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I know that
It hit
feeling.
real different over there. You know, I came up short over there. Was a lot of things going on. It was a lot of things, but
Yeah.
um, even with Soul, they still embrace me. They want me to come back. They showed me love, and it's like, you know what? Shoot, I'm coming back. I'm coming
Yes,
back to get
indeed.
my belts.
Yes, indeed. You know, you remind me of Chop Chop when it comes to making your own designs clothes. Chop
Yeah.
Chop back in the 90s used to make his own outfits. When I saw a story on you many years ago, I was like, man, she remind me of a female Chop. Is open, not afraid to take chances and it's not afraid to be yourself. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing in this sport because people tend to tear you down when you try to be
Oh,
yourself.
baby, I trust me, they still do, but it don't work. For many years, I went through that, and I went through it a lot, and it's sad because it's like you've done nothing but bring uh prominence, positive, your inspiration. You're doing things that haven't been done before. It's in a community that we always looked at for bad things, and
Right,
then you're like basically shitted on, or people try to
right.
discredit you, or people try to just act like what you're doing is regular. Like what I
Nah.
do is not regular, bro.
Real tough,
No.
real tough. Ain't B. I was watching you take them punches the other day. I was like, wow, for her to be, she still conducts herself in this fashion model style lifestyle, and then to get in this brutal sport and be a singer and a performer. That you talk about diversity. I mean,
I'm a
really
I'm
like
a
having it.
I'm a fighter who learned how to box.
Right, right,
Now,
right.
this is like my fifth life I'm living right now.
I dig it.
And
I dig
we
it.
should all, we all evolve. If you talk to some of my friends from VA, they'll be like, oh, that's nothing. That's how she was back then. I fought
I get it.
girls, guys, equal opportunity ass whooping. So it's not far fetched.
Come
You
here,
feel
come
what I'm
here.
saying?
Yes,
Uh,
indeed.
it's just, I just refine and I become what I gotta become. When I'm in the ring, I'm here to fight. When I'm outside the ring, I love being a woman. I love being who I am. So yeah, trust me, you gonna see December 15th.
Yeah, yeah. I want to get into that. You're fighting Shadasia Green.
Hmm.
Um, I've reviewed a few of her fights, and I observed her. One thing I know for certain, two things for sure. For you, you got many weapons to stop a lot of her aggression because you're gonna come forward too. That's one thing I notice about you. But I notice she's an aggressive fighter, which is good for a boxer. Like you just said, you are a boxer. You know how to box. You know how to move out the way. So you know how to counter punch. And I just want to give you one advice from me to you, just to tell you personally, straight down the pipe. She's a looper. She throws looping shots. I just wanted to shots. I have to say this to you. Straight down the pipe is the best destination for a looping fighter. You
The
will.
thing is, you know what? And I accept that. I receive that, and I appreciate it. And you know, a lot of people, I've in my career, I've always fought under stress. Like even when I went to UK, I didn't have any of my
Yeah.
coaches with me. All I had was my husband. I
Yeah, I
didn't have
noticed that. I noticed
I
that.
didn't have a lot of stuff, but I don't make excuses. So people may think they saw the worst of me, and this is my opportunity to show the best of me. And you know, she's good. She has a great aesthetic, and you know, she
Yeah.
can fight. And she's not the toughest competition I've been in there with. As you see, I fought Claressa my first fight, and that was
Yes.
2.5 week notice.
Yes,
I
indeed.
fought a person on PEDs who was a heavyweight boxer. I fought other cruiserweights. You know, I fought Savannah, who is she got a heavy pedigree in the amateurs, world champion. She can
Yes,
fight. You
indeed.
feel what I'm saying? So,
I
you
thought you
know,
won that fight, though, to be honest with you.
I believe my D game rivaled her A game. She had everything in her favor. And like I
Yeah.
said, it wasn't my best night. But for me to get a majority decision, I would have been okay with a draw or going my
Right.
way. Because when
Right.
you want to be the champ, you got to beat the champ.
Yes,
And
true statement.
I was bleeding because she headbutted me in my nose, and I'm
Right, right.
like, oh my god, that's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
girl. The girl came out of me in that the
I,
seventh round. I saw the
yeah.
blood. I was like, oh my god.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But I thought you won the fight. You know, I'm gonna say this. This is my partner. C's. He came
Hey,
in,
hey,
man.
how you
Hi.
doing? How you doing?
I'm gonna say this. She would throw a shot, and the crowd would just go crazy. So the judges would see. I'm like, you know how UK is when it comes to their audience. You could get the person could just whistle, throw a punch, and then miss you, and they'll still go off with the
Man,
crowd.
it's something
So
like you've never heard before. If you could take a movie, you could watch a movie and hear how it's like it's like a roaring, like you could literally feel the people. You know what I mean? So it's an experience within itself. You
yeah,
fight an opponent, you fight the judges, you fighting the crowd, you fighting yourself. You feel what I'm saying? So you got like a
right,
couple
right,
different
right.
fights going on. So if you're not trump
Yes,
tight with
indeed.
yourself, if you ain't got the proper support from the corner, if you're not there all the way, it may not fair for you. But I don't make excuses. I don't get bitter.
Yeah,
I get
I
better.
understand.
And I'm so blessed for this opportunity coming. And I'm just gonna make it right. I'm gonna make it
Yes,
right.
indeed. Yeah, I think you got this one in the bag, though. You just it's that's what I like about you female fighters. Y'all take risks and y'all put it on the table, and I wish the male fighters take some damn notes now, because it's getting out of hand with the male fighters. That's why I even had to switch over to doing all sports, because I'm sick of just covering tweets.
Who
You know
don't
what I'm
want
Everybody
to
saying?
fight?
cute
Who don't
now,
want to fight
but
who?
they are cute and it's when you get complacent. Like I wish I was making money like them. But
Yeah,
like me and my husband, Glenn-Dezurn Jr., we old school. We
yeah,
old enough to know, young enough to learn.
yeah.
And we came from an era where you had to fight, even yourself. When you were amateur,
Yes,
it wasn't
indeed.
just let me pay and walk on a tournament. You had to fight
Nah.
local, regional, states, nationals. So
Yes,
it's
indeed.
just that's how I was bred, and I'm a breadwinner. So um you know what? If I had to fight a dude, if they paid me some money, all I
Yeah.
do is spar guys too. So it's like it's
Right,
whatever.
right, right,
Right.
right. I want to talk about that. How was that in that camp with the headbangers? You got Scooter, you got
Sugar Seed,
Sugar Sheed, you got a
Classy.
whole and then you got, and I have to take it back to the Peterson brothers, man, who when they were little guys when I was fighting, man, that was
Yeah.
that I remember just them two and a guy named Josh and Boogie
Mhm.
and Latasha. That was it in the gym at that
Mhm.
time. So, but to see it evolve to what it is now, and how was the training with those guys? How was that for you?
Well, I mean, I've been there. I started my pro career with Barry and everybody. Like I've known them over the years beforehand, but my husband and I, we got a pro career with them, and I took them on experiences like you mentioned, Nasheed and Scooter. When I won my first world title, I had them working with me and showing them
Okay.
things And, you know, they're their own person now. And, you know, I'm so proud. And, you know, when they can listen, you know, when you're a man and you get your testosterone and everything, you got to go what you go. I just sit back. I just, you know, support and let them be them.
Yes,
And, you know,
indeed.
they're gonna be whatever God has for them. That's what they're going to have. But, you know, they work very hard. I just do my thing and we all just win.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So I'm gonna pass it on over to my partner. He got some questions for you within your career, things of
Yeah,
that nature. So
I just
I'm
got a
gonna.
couple questions about this fight coming up that y'all touched on a little while ago. Um, Fight on December 15th in Orlando against Shadasia Green. What's your thoughts on Shadasia as a fighter?
I don't think about her much. I think she's great at what she does, especially for the competition that's in front of her. I don't overlook anybody. Anybody that signed that contract, they get a target on her, you know. She's strong. And, you know, I've known her a little bit in the amateurs. And I think it's a good fight for me. It's a very good fight for me. It's definitely a winnable fight. And I'm just ready to go as far as I got to go to get that win.
Now, things have been a little heated between you two in the lead up to the fight. What's the cause of that?
I don't know. You got to talk to her. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like, even my haters fuck with me. So it's like, my thing is, I'm a person who is very goal oriented and I'm very intentional. So she's been yelling for years and she gets mad because I don't engage in that. I'm a
Mhm,
businesswoman. I'm a fighter. I'm also a businesswoman. And when your time is your time, like you don't understand the valleys I had to cross, the mountains I had to climb to get to where I'm at. So if I want to do a fucking mandatory, a voluntary defense, if
mhm,
I want to keep pursuing other belts, if I want to be in a position where I could provide for myself and my family, that's what I'm gonna do. You're gonna be there. You're
mhm,
gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. So when we're gonna fight, we're gonna fight. Even with this fight with Savannah, the stipulation was whoever won was gonna have to fight her anyway. So
mhm.
she was gonna get her
Yeah.
shot.
Yes,
She's
yeah.
just been yelling. I don't know. That's her. You gotta ask her. Maybe one day y'all get an interview with her.
We gonna
But in
talk
my
to her.
mind, from America to UK, the guy from UK was even like, "Is she jealous of you?" I think it's
Mm,
just some self hate and you know what I mean? Because let her talk about Amanda or Jake Paul, all these other people. She, oh yes,
mhm.
you're so great, yeah. But let me mention Claressa or mention me. I'm
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
saying. I
Yeah.
think it's deeper than boxing. Like, just be you, boo. I know who I am. Do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned Jake Paul. She signed to him, and this is on his undercard. But speaking of Jake Paul, what do you think of his place in boxing at this moment?
um that's where it comes. He's a magnificent businessman. You know, he had to grow on me because some of the things he was famous for was kind of wild back in the day. um
Hmm.
but he was also a part of me becoming undisputed because he was one of the promoters for Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor, the card I fought on where I became undisputed. um and I could see he works with real boxers like Jay Leon Love. I came up
Hmm.
with him. We cool. Um, but I had to stop saying
It's
I'm so
cool.
sleepy.
It's
I
all good.
I
It's all
get
apologize.
you.
good. It's all
It's all
good.
good.
He's putting in work. He's putting in work. He's really
Yeah.
trying and you know, even though most of his fights aren't with real boxers, he's fighting with combat athletes who can take a punch and give a punch, and
Hmm.
he's trying his hand. So I gotta respect that, and the way he's coming in with his new company and giving opportunities to Amanda and providing opportunity for me. Hey, we can get money if we
Hey.
can build, and this is opportunity for other females coming up. I'm not hating. I'm not hating
Hmm.
at all.
And now the state of women's boxing, women been doing their thing lately.
Mhm.
What do you think about the state of women's boxing right now, and where it's at?
I think we the only ones with motion for real. Like even the girls, if you come up short, you still fight. For me, I'm excited because I'm getting a fight twice in a year.
Hmm.
Inactivity has not been my
Yeah.
friend for a minute because before I
Hmm.
forced event, I had fought in like a year and a half anyway.
Hmm.
But uh the women are putting it on. You got your variety of women, you got your quiet women, you got your women who know how to promote, whether they selling sex, whether they're selling skills and sex with skills, all of that. You know, they're using what they got to get the eyes on the crowd, and then when get the crowd's eyes on them, and then when it's time to perform, they're really fighting. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Some of it's aesthetically pleasing, some of it's just like throwing hands, but we really the ones out here making the fights happen, taking whatever opportunities we can get, and talking it and walking it. So women's boxing is growing. It's still got a ways to go, but it's growing.
And what's some of the things you think can be done to continue this evolution and growth?
I think the fighters themselves, they're doing their thing. Like, we've all stepped our game up as far as like fighting, whether, like I said, aesthetically pleasing. Some people don't like the way I fight, but I fight. I'm entertaining. I know how to fucking fight.
You put it on
I
there.
think it comes from promoters and people like yourself, like media and the fans. They just got to keep supporting us, and y'all got to keep promoting us so people can know, because the small circle of boxing, we know, oh, that's Amanda, that's Claressa, that's Katie, that's Alicia, that's me. But if you go to the general public and be like, such and such, you're like, oh, who is that? So we got to keep building these fighters and building up to the point we be like Mike Tyson. One
Mm-hmm.
word name,
Yeah.
you say our name, they know
Yeah.
it rings bells.
It's
Yeah.
But
synonymous.
that
Yeah.
comes from the fans, the media, and the promoters.
Yeah. Now, one thing that Jake Paul and Amanda have been adamant about and really pushing is to change women's boxing from 2 minutes to 3 minute rounds. What's your stance on that?
I was a part of the statement they put. Uh, Theirs is choice. We should have the option. My stance on it, whatever my contract says, I'm going to do it as long as y'all compensate me for it,
Yeah.
and give me my just due. Like, I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter. Um, I believe we should do it progressively, because to jump from 20 minutes to 36 minutes off the rip is still
Mm-hmm.
a lot. Like, Amanda did her thing, but it's it's a lot of trying, and then it
Yeah.
can get old because we're used to fighting this, and then you jump to that, and it's like that period in between. But I would be open to doing 12 2-minute rounds to start, and then eventually elevate to 12 3-minute rounds.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's an opportunity to do that and there's compensation, let's do it.
Yes, indeed.
That's what's up. Let's got some more shit.
Yeah. You and Claressa, she was your first fight, and I noticed y'all relationship is amazing. How did that come about? Like that y'all become tight like y'all are now.
Well, real recognize real. And when you do your history, before it was a Claressa, it's always been Franchon Crews. Like, I've developed into Franchon Crews-Dezurn. Thanks to my husband.
Yes.
But Franchon Crews ran shit, and she's
Yeah.
still running it. And I was the big dog she had to go through to become who she is today. We fought at the Olympic trials, and I was the top dog to beat. So
Hmm.
our history has always been intertwined. And even when she had her shortcoming against Savannah and the amateurs, I was the first person she came to. Trust me, it wasn't all buddy buddy. The respect's been there, but it wasn't all buddy buddy, because
Most
I'm like, damn, you is in my way and I'm in your way the
Yeah.
whole time. But you learn to coexist, because me being a new age pioneer, this young girl came in. I say I could open the door. She kicked through and ran with it and left the door open for other girls. Even this fight, like, Shadasia talks all this stuff, but baby girl, if I wasn't here, you wouldn't be here. If
Right.
you would take me out, take Claressa out, where would you be in your career? Just
Real,
be honest.
real statement.
You know what I'm saying? So I saw the bigger mission. Even me taking a fight with Claressa, 13 girls turned her down. And I'm like, how you gonna claim you the best, or you want to be a champ, you want to do this, when you got the opportunity to fight the best and you're not
Yeah.
taking it? So she just, I'm like a big sis. We like Venus and Serena, and y'all know how that goes. Serena
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
is amazing, but she wouldn't be shit without Venus. And I'm
Without
not saying,
Venus.
don't take my words out of context to be like, Claressa is who she is, and that's what God blessed her to be. but she understands
Yes,
the role
indeed.
I play, and I understand the role she plays, and I'm just so proud of her. So,
Yes,
she's like
indeed.
a little sister I never had in boxing.
Yes, indeed.
Nice.
Yes, indeed. Well, I love it, man. I love to see sisters united.
Yeah.
For
Two of the
sure.
best, you know what I'm saying? Just helping each other get me stay the best, you know. That's a wonderful
Mhm.
thing.
For sure.
Um, so when they said to you this, the new undisputed champion of the world, how was that feeling when you first heard that you was the undisputed champion of the world? How did you
Oh, I
feel?
thought you was just saying when they took my shit over in UK,
No,
I was
hell
about to
nah,
say I was
nah, nah, nah,
traumatized.
no,
I was like, this ain't real. This
no. I'm
ain't
talking about
real.
when you won it, when you first got it. How was that feeling to accomplish with most of us that have boxed that ever, whether it's amateur or pro, our dream was to become a world champion and never succeeded that mission. You got it done. How was that feeling to be to do what most of us dream to be?
Man, I just had to yell. I just took it all in. I just yelled because this is for my mom. Like my whole boxing career is motivated from my mom.
Yes,
And
indeed.
I just knew everything because my fight for that fight was postponed twice for like a year.
Wow.
We were supposed to fight on Triller, and then the whole Teofimo thing started.
Mhm.
So they pushed my fight off of Triller, and we had to find a home. So when that fight came, just to be able to walk through the ropes and throw hands, when it happened, I just had a yell and a sigh of relief, and I was just so happy. And it was an experience for me, my coaches, my husband, my manager. It's a moment. I don't know. I can't explain it, but
Yeah.
it's definitely one of the best feelings of my life.
Yes, indeed. I can imagine. I can imagine. And you got anything more, LCs?
Nah, that's it. I don't want to keep her hit too long.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so let me tell you, the next time y'all put something about DMV, boxing, legends, y'all know I'm already a Hall of Famer.
Yes,
I'm already a
indeed.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
I
Uh-huh.
don't know
I
if
got.
DC gonna put me in, but world, I'm already a Hall of
Yeah, they
Famer.
will.
Uh-huh.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? And y'all got recognized. I done fought for PVA, South Atlantic. I done grew women's
we
boxing.
got you. We got you.
Shout out to the young girls coming up. You got Mia Ellis,
Yeah,
Destiny, you
yeah.
got Baby Top. So I appreciate y'all, and
Yes, indeed.
we're
We
gonna get
got you
this
for real.
win.
Well, when we created this the platform, the one that you saw, it was at that time that, as you said, you've been through the page. It was more of the older fighters, right? So we just start catering to the younger fighters recently of those of today.
Oh, I'm
I
a
mean,
younger fighter. Let me.
no, what I mean is the
Hey.
your current fighter, right? So we were more catering to all the older guys from the 80s and 90s, and at that time it was called DC Boxing Legend. It wasn't DMV.
Yeah,
We just
yeah,
incorporated DMV of recent. So I wanted to explain that to you, but I understand. I'm like, come on now, you like I done accomplished something nobody done since. It was probably only one only undisputed champion was Winky Wright, who's from DC, but he lived in Florida. So
yeah. He
um
still can get it, but
he
you
still,
know what?
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't trust me. I swear, I live like on a different planet, so I really don't address things like that.
You win on
But
me
it's
too.
huh?
You win on me. I woke up to the message early in the morning. I say, woo.
I chose violence. I woke up and chose violence.
He
She went
called me
off.
like, man, Franchon just cursed me
Just
out.
went off, cussed me out.
Yeah, because I'm like, yo, I get love everywhere. Y'all not gonna play with me,
Nah,
especially
I ain't
going
gonna
through the
do you like
fight.
that.
Don't play
Nah,
with me.
I ain't gonna
Like
do you
that.
like that. And let me tell
Thank
you
you.
something. I created when I did create it at the time back years ago, DC Boxing Legend. It was designed to make sure no fighters left behind. So I felt
Yeah.
bad. I'm like, one of the best. I can't leave one of the best behind. We got to fix this
Listen,
ASAP.
my pedigree's so deep.
Yeah, I
I
know.
told Lamont, shout out to Lamont winning his belt. I said, since this era, everything's about Twitter beefs and dropping
Right.
sparring videos. Don't make me drop that sparring video of you and now when you was 15 years old. Stop playing with me. Like I'm about to come up.
Nah, we ain't got to do that. It's all love.
Yeah,
It's
I'm gonna let you
all
be
love.
great. I'm gonna let you be great, Lamont.
Yes, indeed. It's all love. It's all love, man.
Great
So,
tomorrow.
man, I thank you for coming on here. And I'm glad that I did
didn't get through to you because I got through to you somehow. I'm glad to be able to get to whoever's on that note, but trust me, you will not be left out ever again in the DMV boxing legend world from me. So
thank you.
It wasn't intentional. It wasn't intentional. So
yeah, I mean, you gotta understand everything. I ain't gonna keep y'all on. What I do
it's all good.
is bigger than me. And I know, like, I'm not a cloud chaser. I'm not one of those people that need validation. Like, I already been to hell and back. I know who I am. But when my story is done, I want somebody to be able to look back and be like, oh, wow, this happened. She did this, she did that.
Yes,
so that's just what I'm working on. I'm just working, doing the work, and it's gonna pay off in the end.
And I understand this is your home. This your home base. Yeah. Who you shouldn't be omitted from here. You should be known for at all. So I understood clearly. Trust me, you got through to me off the message. Off great. It didn't take much.
Thank
I understood
so
clearly because from the level I took it on that, I was to get upset with people who forget me for the things that I've brought to this area. So I know the feeling. So
facts.
Yeah, you're definitely a legend, and you will always be one. And listen, kick some ass this next fight. Kick some ass. Let her know.
Which ain't gonna happen if I get beat up. Don't be trying to switch up, and don't try to
you ain't. Nah. Listen, this sport is too brutal. This is a gladiator sport.
You see,
both ends are respected.
You ain't the same when you fight me. You see, Savannah ain't fighting. You see, she showed me respect after we fought. So.
Yes, indeed. I thought you won that fight, honestly.
Hey, I'm gonna get it back. We spinning the block, so check it out.
Yes, indeed. Come get that thing back. Get that joint back, ladies.
Thank y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, the former undisputed champion of
the first.
The first. I'm gonna go back. The first ever champion, undisputed champion from this area, ladies and gentlemen, Franchon. Crews-Dezurn.
Have a good night.
You too now.
All right.
The second win, sports media. Peace.